Breaking from El Segundo, the clock on the Lakers season. Just jump forward, and the real story behind LeBron's contract finally has a hard outline that changes everything we thought we knew. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report. I'm coming in hot with what's real, what's smoke, and what it means for the next 9 months in Los Angeles. I'll walk you through how Lebron's deal actually works this season, why the timing matters more than the number, how his no-trade power intersects with the new apron rules, and how the front office is quietly structuring the cap sheet around Luka Doncic's prime. I'll also break down why the current injury timeline only increases the leverage game, which teams could realistically move if LeBron ever opened that door, and how the Lakers can keep pace until he's back. Stick with me, because the reveal in the middle when the dates, dollars, and options snap into place is the hinge of the whole year. This is the kind of update that doesn't shout. It shapes, on paper. The headline felt simple in July. LeBron opted into this season at $52.6 million, the richest single-year salary of his Lakers tenure. Under the hood, though, it's a one-year runway with a choose-your-ending switch at the end of it, not a long-term marriage extension. That choice wasn't made in a vacuum. It was made with a brand-new board in place. Doncic's 3-year max extension, locking him in as the franchise's future. A coaching staff stabilized around J.J. Redick, and a supporting cast tuned to live in the half-court with Luka controlling the tempo. The dynamic is as clear as it's ever been. LeBron is still elite, still historically productive when healthy. But the organization has oriented its next championship attempt around the 26-year-old engine they just tied down long-term. That frame sets the tone for every conversation we have from now through the deadline dot right now. LeBron's out with right-side sciatica, and that's forcing the team to stress test the Luka-first design from day one. In the short term, it's an uncomfortable blessing. The offense becomes single-pilot clean. Roles simplify for Austin Reeves and the second unit, and Ayton's touches get built in early. Defensively, you lose LeBron's quarterbacking and his transition presence, and that's where Marcus Smart's hands and Vanderbilt's versatility have to show up. The bigger picture, though, is timeline management. Every game he misses pulls more gravity toward what the front office, already telegraphed, build the scaffolding that makes sense next to Luka in April, regardless of how the opening 2 weeks feel in October. That's why the patience around the 5th-10th roster spot, the minute-by-minute load for role players, and the guard rotation without LeBron's pressure relief matter more than a hot start. The season will be decided by how the pieces fit when both stars are on the floor, and by whether the cap sheet stays flexible enough to add the right perimeter stopper. When the market blinks, let's hit the mechanics cleanly, because this is the core of the update. LeBron is locked in for this season via the player option. He did not add years last summer. The no-trade clause is active, which means nothing happens without his signature. He can choose to finish the year in L.A. He can approve a specific trade if the perfect basketball and family fit appears. Or he can ride this through June and look at free agency in 2026 with fresh leverage. The team, for its part, made a strategic decision. Leave the long-term decision to him while securing Luka for the next 3 seasons. That's not a divorce note. It's an honest allocation of risk and window. It says, we're all in for 2025-26. And we're not going to lock in beyond that until health, fit, and opportunity line up. For LeBron, it's a bet on control. Maximize power now. Revisit later when the map is clearer. Now. Place that against the financial realities. The Lakers are squeezed right under the first apron after splitting their non-taxpayer, mid-level, and filling out the rotation. That's why you haven't seen them rush a 5th-10th standard deal. The paraded minimum doesn't fit until deep into the season. It's not penny pinching. It's chess. Keeping a sliver of room preserves emergency flexibility and makes any later move cleaner. It also raises the bar for any hypothetical LeBron trade talk the internet keeps pushing. If you're adding salary, you need a partner who can thread apron rules, send back the right money. and still be worth shaking up a contender in year one of the Luka era. Most teams' fans mention Cleveland. New York sit above the harsher second apron or near it and would need a multi-move preamble just to get in the ring. That kind of aggressive rearrangement doesn't happen quietly, and it never happens without the players' buy-in. Again, the clause is the clause. I want to acknowledge the basketball fit discussion because it's fueling a lot of noise. The overlap with Luka and Reeves is real. 3 on-ball creators with varying defensive ceilings, all best with the ball, all capable of bending a defense alone. That's not redundancy. It's a surplus that demands structure. When they're staggered well, you get 48 minutes of elite advantage creation. When they share, the off-ball commitment has to be sharper, quicker decisions, deeper cuts, better screening, and real buy-in to guard at the point of attack. The preseason didn't give us a fair test with LeBron's timeline, and October never tells the truth about May anyway. What matters is getting to a playoff identity where 2 of the 3 are constantly punishing switches, while the third is a plus off-ball connector and you're not giving up the corner on the other end. That's why the in-season priority board is defense at the guard line and rim pressure without muddying the spacing. I know what you're thinking next. If LeBron did crack the door, who actually fits? Cleveland is the sentimental story and a legit schematic fit-too-big lineup insulation with Mobley, shooters to space, and a city that knows what it's like to inhale with him. But they're over the second apron and would have to pre-clear meaningful money just to get legal, which telegraphs the move months in advance and probably cost them the exact depth that makes the fit enticing in the first place. New York has the market gravity, a big wing ecosystem, and the assets to slide contracts around. But they're dancing over the same apron wire and would need a serious chain of deals to end up with LeBron and the pieces that justify the push. Houston keeps popping up for a colder reason. They lost their starting point guard to an ACL. They're hungry, and they have the young contracts and picks to talk. Does it put LeBron closer to a ring than LA with Luka? That's the question only he would answer. Dallas will always flicker because of personal history and star gravity. But they have their own math with Anthony Davis in-house and the roster recalibrated around him, another layer that makes cross-contender cooperation a labyrinth. If you want a dark horse basketball fit for pure development reasons, Orlando's young core with shooting and size is the type of canvas that could absorb a veteran shot creator and grow around him fast. The point is, theoretical destinations are easy to say and hard to build under the current CBA. If it were just vibes, this would be done in a week. It's not. Before I drop the core reveal, I want your take right now in the comments. If you were in LeBron's chair and the Lakers stay healthy by December, would you keep the clause locked and make this your best last dance in Los Angeles? Or would you consider one last ultra-specific move only to a roster that can cover defensively? For 2 creators and unlock elite off-ball shooting? I'm reading everything you write because your gut on the feel of this team matters. Here's the contract reality that changes the tenor of the season. LeBron is a Laker for 2025 to 26 by choice, on a $52.6 million option, with full control via no trade clause, no New Year's attached, no safety net locked in, and a clear organizational signal that the summer decision will be his. The front office has chosen runway over romance, cap flexibility over sentiment, and a Luka-first spine that buys time for LeBron to return, ramp, and decide. That is the update. It isn't a rumor, it's the map. The byproduct is simple. The team can focus on building winning habits around Doncic without forcing a long-term answer from LeBron in October, and LeBron can focus on getting healthy and picking his moment, whether that's the next playoff sprint in purple and gold or a handshake in July. Everyone keeps agency, and the season stays about basketball dots, so what happens next? In the near term, the Lakers' job is to survive and ideally thrive without LeBron while he ramps. That means Luka dictating pace, Ayton eating in the middle, Smart and Vanderbilt setting the defensive temperature, and Reeves weaponizing his growth as a secondary handler who can also space. It also means watching the market for that one wing who can guard up, hit a corner three at playoff volume, and doesn't cost the picks you'll need later. The team's hard cap posture suggests patience by design, with the 5th-10th spot arriving once proration makes it painless. On Lebron, the key date is not December. It's February if the calculus changes, and July if it doesn't. Between those, there's only one rule: keep the options clean. Meanwhile, Doncic's extension is the franchise's bet that his next. 3 springs happen in Los Angeles, and every micro-decision rotations. Payout timing, player development should be graded on whether it makes the Luka plus LeBron version in April unguardable and the Luka alone minutes oxygen-rich. My read, as a fan who's lived through every pivot of the last decade, the Lakers made the right calculated call. They protected optionality, respected a legend's leverage, and handed the keys to a superstar who just committed to his prime. That doesn't diminish LeBron, it positions him. If he comes back right, buys in the pockets of off-ball activity, and picks his matchups on defense, the ceiling is still Western Conference Finals or better, because the half-court problem solving in a 7-game series becomes unfair. If the season's grind exposes a real defensive leak or the fit never fully hums, the clause exists, the market listens, and nobody is trapped. That's adult team building. Now I want you in it. Tell me below, given the contract map, the injury, timeline, and the apron math, should the Lakers treat this as the last dance and swing another deal at the deadline, or hold their nerve, trust internal growth, and let July write the epilogue? Concise takeaway: LeBron is locked in for this season. By choice, holds full no-trade power, has no New Year's added, and the Lakers have aligned the cap and roster around Luka's extension to keep every door open while they chase wins now. If you value this kind of straight-to-the-point breakdown with real cap context and on-court detail, tap subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and keep your alerts on. I'll be here with rapid updates the moment anything shifts.